Okay, evening everyone, this is the day 8 solution for the day 8 challenge. So this is today where we start to look at a first part of our scissor jack component, which is going to then start this mini kind of project proposal that we're going to do together and help you build up your skills across different sections and build a blocked assembly. So if you watched the earlier video, you know I've split this into 3 parts. This part is the top view, this part here is the frontal view, and the last part on the right is the right hand side view. So how would you start something like this in AutoCAD? Well, it's the same as always. You need to pick a particular component you want to reference from and start from, so you could use this bottom corner here, and you're going to start to plan your construction, your build up around the features. So I'm going to show you sort of a really cool way of doing it. So the first thing I need to do is that I'm going to pick this left hand edge, and I know that my furthest component is 300mm away, and from the baseline here, this first view, the top view is 40, so that's the first lines I'm going to put in on AutoCAD. I'm going to start my drawing using my template. Just going to close my properties window down because I need it for this kind of section, and in the construction view I'm going to draw an X line from my center point. Okay, so one way vertical, one way horizontal. I'm going to offset the vertical line 300, that'll give me then the width. Escape space to reload the command, 40 to get my height for the first particular component. Now you can choose to then maybe set up the next component, or you can start to work on these features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset probably 50mm gap between top and bottom, and 50mm from left and right. So I'm just going to go in, offset 50mm, and then we go 50mm from this line across, 50mm from that line up. And what I tend to do sometimes I colour them differently if you've got to see a red line that's going on, but at this stage it's still quite easy for me to spot. Then I've got 70, and then this gap will also be 70, so I can now do offset 70 on both features, like so. So this zone here, okay, is my top zone. This zone here is my frontal zone. That little zone there is my right zone, and what I'm going to start to do is just use these zones to build up my shape. So people always ask where's the best place to start, and it kind of varies, but you know, you got 100, 120, 180, 200, so I could start by putting in those set dimensions from my offset. So offset 100, like so, escape space 120, same point, escape space 180, and finally 200. Okay, that's put my little slots in which are coming down here. I didn't know that I've got a 10mm shoulder here and a 10mm shoulder there, so simply I'm just going to offset 10, and I'm going to come 10 up, and I'm going to come 10 down. That's basically like my outer shape sort of done. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, obviously in the drawing layer. Use my rectangle tool. Okay, now I can use my line tool, like so. Cover all these points. Actually, I think my rectangle is slightly too wide by the looks of it. Like so. So what I have actually done, stupidly, I've taken it too far, so I'm just going to drop it back a little bit, which is why it's good to have these stretch tools. Like so. So there's my first shape, so it should be 300. So I'm just going to do a quick measurement, because I've already measured it wrong once. There we go, 300, so that's perfect. Just going to remove that one out of my way. Okay, so that's my first shape. Now I can come along and get my second shape. So again, still got to put that 10mm little feature in, which is so from the side profile it's 5, so I'm going to do offset 5 from the bottom up, like so. And now what I can do is Put my first little feature in, there to there, and on that profile as well. It's like the base profile before the top comes on, so I've got my right hand edge as well. So I've got all these components. Okay, now I need to work out what my centre holes are, so 110 and 80. Now I'm going to actually colour these ones a bit differently, so what I'm going to do is colour this one into my vision layer, and now I'm going to offset this 110, so the blue line will sit, and then 80 from that point, which will cover then the middle part, like so. Now I'm going to change that on back to my construction layer, so because it specifies the edge, which then will apply those holes, which are then 15mm above. So offset 15, like so, change that to vision, and we're all done. So lastly, it's putting in this R100. Now, you know it's 40 up, but you don't know where from and to, so what we're going to have to really do is draw another line at the 40 line. Okay, so now we're going to put in our angles. So obviously we know it's R100, so I'm going to draw a line up from here, 100. Give me that point, and put that in my vision, like so. And all I'm going to do is put a centre radius, 100. Okay, and where my line, it seems to snap down there, it's a bit strange. Put a line across, trim out the stuff I don't want. Just make sure you do get rid of all of it. I probably should have turned off the other parts of the drawing first, but we're in this bit now. There we go, so that's our first bit. Then what you could do, you can now just do like a mirror. So you find the centre of our object, so we find offset 150 on that line, and we do a mirror. Select that object, rotate it around this object, keep the original, and then we just do a quick snap back, like so. So that's that element in. And what we can now do is we can measure point to point, so it's 76. So we could now offset 75.99. There we go. And then there we go. Now we come in and draw our lines across our top section. Like so. So then that's that element done there. Last element is we've got to just transfer this across, and it's 10mm wide. So offset 10 on that one. Just gonna be like building like another little rectangle, and then the slots will, or the holes will transfer through. So we can do two little rectangles. Like so. Last thing to do is just put in our circles, which is two lots of radius 10, diameter 10. Like so, and just offset now 5 either side of that line. And then what we can now do is put some hidden detail in so that hole goes through. So I'm just going to do a quick another layer. Call it hidden. Oh, double D, can't spell. So rename hidden. I'm going to change my line to a hidden line, so it's going to load H for hidden. Load in hidden. I'll go down, so change like a bit of grey colour, just so it's a little bit different. Okay, so done that. I'm going to turn off my vision layer, turn off my construction layer, now I can do a trim. Okay, like so, and that's perfectly fine. And that's essentially the first part of our free top, front, side. Now it's just a dimension, so in my dimension layer, I'm going to come along and start to do the required height work. So 100, 120, so I'm just keeping it nice and clean all the time. So if you're struggling like what I am there, you can't get it right, you could always just turn the construction lines back on. You could sort of now go, well, you know, the height's 40, 10, it's 10. You can obviously change the dimensions, make it as how you want it rather than what the drawing said. It's 300 long, it's 40 high. Could do the 70 on this side rather than 70 above, only measure once. Like so, that's 5mm because we had 5 transfers across both. Keep it nice and clean. You might want to say that that part is 50, so it gives you a little bit of aspect that it is the same 70. You want to come in and say, well, okay, my linear points, 15, got a gap of 80 from the datum. It's 110. You should keep them out of the drawing. This is only like a brief production drawing. It's not a full blown, ready for scale manufacture as such at R100. Like so. So there's sort of a brief overview, and you come out, format it, and away you go. So that's our first solution to one of our products. So have fun. It's another little technical challenge. It's like a few other bits. We're introducing hidden lines now, manipulating layers, and looking at other details. So let me know how you get on with this one, and I look forward to updating you with day 9 tomorrow. Thanks guys.